Hi everybody, and welcome to Yummy Eats for One. I'm Chef Tim Bob, because you know on YouTube, everybody's got to be chef. Today we're going to do some beef stew for one. I have my oven set just a little under medium high. I put a little oil in there and let it heat up for a minute. Then we're going to throw in our beef. I got maybe half a pound or so. I'm using chuck because it's supposed to cook for a long time, and it was on sale for like $2.99. So. And you want to brown your meat. It's going to brown really quick, so just kind of flip it, brown the other side. Now just add some onions, some celery, and some garlic. And if you're not low carbing it, you can add some carrots also, which is, pretty much a staple of everything. But don't worry, we're going to drain all this out anyway. This is just to flavor your broth. I add a little salt and pepper. Give it a little quick mush. Mix it around. Now normally when you do your mirepoix, which is basically a fancy way of saying carrots, celery, and onions, you usually put the carrots in there more for the sweetness, so that the sugar content will come out. But since we can't, I'm just going to put a little teeny pinch of liquid sweetener in there just to make up for it, because it'll cut the acidity of the stuff that's coming next. You want to put a half a cup of red wine and a third of a cup of beef broth, and of course give it a stir. Now as far as spices go, I'm just going to add a little rosemary, dried rosemary, a little dried thyme, and a bay leaf. By then it should be all ready to boil. Turn it down to about medium low and cover it and let it simmer for, well, about an hour and a half, and then check it. Actually check it after about 10 minutes to make sure it's not boiling too much. You just want a nice slow simmer where it's not gonna, you don't want it to simmer too much or too little. It's been about 10 minutes or so, and I'm just checking it. And we got a nice little simmer going on there. And of course it'll simmer a little more when I put the lid back on, but it should look about like that. Right now I'm going to prep my veggies for later. I got some mushroom stems here. I'm using the caps for something else. I got a couple of pieces of fresh asparagus I cut up into bite-sized pieces. The white parts of some green onions. I got some frozen green beans and a couple pieces of red pepper just to add some color. But you can use whatever vegetables you like. You don't have to use these. You can use, if you have frozen cauliflower or broccoli, use that. Whatever you got and you need to use up. Return your pot and add some oil. Then put all your veggies on in. And you want to saute them up so they'll get all nice and tender. Okay, re-add your meat and give it a stir. Now on top of everything, you want to add about a quarter teaspoon of xanthan gum. Make sure it's all spread around in there. You don't want it in one clump. You want to get it all over the veggies, so that way you can mix it up in there. And a 1/4 teaspoon is about 1½ tablespoons of cornstarch. So if you're not low carbing it, it's a lot easier. Just mix a little 1½ tablespoons of cornstarch with some water until it dissolves, and after you sit here and add your broth back in, then add your cornstarch and water mixture. And you just kind of want to stir it around and let it simmer a bit, so the xanthan gum will get off all the veggies and meat, and it'll thicken up your gravy. It's been simmering for about 2 minutes. The gravy's all nice and thickened up, as you can see. And, you know, this will go great by itself in a bowl. Or if you make yourself some like cauliflower mashed potatoes, you know, put them on top of those. Or put the potatoes next to it and take some of this gravy and put it on top of that. Enjoy it.